sunshine, a little bit of sunshine, rays of sunshine, where we are hearing about survivors, including one found this morning, 8 days after the hurricane. Hurricane is in my mind because we're in South Florida. Sorry, the earthquakes, the tragic earthquakes that hit Venezuela. So we're staying on top of that. I have some Supreme Court news, and I have some new laws that have gone into effect here in Florida. That's what I really want to talk to you about. We'll continue to keep the news going. I see a headline here on MS Now. I have 3 monitors here in the studio. I have my prepared news, of course, that I want to discuss, but I just see there has been a new economic indicator where jobs, I want to make sure I get this right according to MS Now. Looks like the jobs that have been added this month to the economy total about 57,000 jobs were added this last month to the economy. So this is for April and May. So I'm seeing that come over the airwaves here. So I just want to bring that to you live. Every Thursday and Friday, I try to have a special guest. Maybe later I'll have a special guest come through. If not, I'll ask her to come through tomorrow. But other big news before we get into some politics, Taylor Swift. Are you guys interested in what Taylor Swift is doing? Taylor Swift apparently is shutting down Madison Square Garden. Of course, we were all just hyped at Madison Square Garden due to the NBA Finals. Well, there is much speculation that, the NYPD, the New York Police Department, is preparing for Taylor Swift's rumored wedding to Travis Kelce. I don't know. We'll see if it's a July 4th top event. They say they've seen golf carts go in. All kinds of trappings are being driven into by trailer, Madison Square Garden. So there's a lot of speculation. Sources say 100 guests are expected to tonight for Swift's rumored wedding rehearsal. I don't know if this is real, guys. This is, again, a lot of speculation. People have been watching this and seeing what's happening around Madison Square Garden in New York. So I don't know if you will be celebrating the sesquicentennial. That's a 250th birthday party. Good afternoon, everybody watching online of the United States. 250th anniversary of our country. Did you know that? I hope so by now. America, 250 years strong. That's what we're celebrating this July 4th. So on Saturday, my family, and I'm in charge of it. Trust me, I'm tired already. I'm in charge of our July 4th barbecue. We like to do a big cookout. I have lots of family coming in town. I'm so excited, from Houston, from ATL. Shout out to family coming in from DC as well. And I'm just really excited to help bring us all together. What are you doing this weekend? Of course, a lot of businesses. I will be here tomorrow. Mike, you didn't close us down for of course, we have to be here, right? Because we are your news source, and this is when we really work hard. But yeah, according to many small businesses, they're closed tomorrow for the July 4th holiday. Are you working tomorrow? Yeah, a lot of people are closed. So we have the holiday weekend coming up. Do you have your plans already? What are you going to do? Like I said, we have already, more than a month ago, I've been voluntold by my people, so you're going to be in charge of this. No, I don't mind it, actually. But I've been running around. I've done my Big Sam's run. Over $400. I'm talking about burgers, hot dogs. So I got to go back, though, for like the buns and things like this that have to be fresher, like the fruit, the cookies and desserts and stuff. I kind of wait till Friday to go. But respect for all who celebrate July 4th. Some people will be celebrating, some people will be resting. I see you online. Stephanie Humphreys channel, checking in on Suzette Speaks YouTube. If you want to watch me, you can watch me as well. I have a YouTube channel, y'all. Just look up Suzette, 1Z, 2 T's, ends with an E, Suzette Speaks. Right, with an S. And we're going to have fun. I'm going to listen. I'm tired already. I was at the Dollar Tree with decorations. I was at Hobby Lobby with decorations. I'm like, where are my family volunteers? But no, as your family gets older, it becomes your turn to be the folks that head it up. So it's my generation, right, that is trying to keep this tradition alive. Shout out to Smooth Approach Online. Hey, thanks for checking in. I appreciate everybody who's tuning in and listening as well. There's some big celebrations going on from New York City. I think Friday night, I saw that ABC World News will be doing like a tribute from the Statue of Liberty, checking out that laser light show. And these are, again, specialists who do these laser light shows around the world. While we're doing July 4th, guys, just remember, while we're celebrating, there's going to be a heat wave hitting the United States at the same time that we celebrate. So there are growing concerns. I know there's a big celebration at the White House for, temperatures that will hit 107 in some parts of the eastern seaboard. I already looked down here, South Florida, Miami. We're going to be in the heavy 90s. For an outdoor picnic, I called some of my aunts. They were like, honey, we've been there, done that. We're not coming outside. I said, Auntie, oh, sorry, that's my headphones. I said, Auntie, you have to come. So I'm borrowing from my church a huge industrial fan. You know those big fans that you have to keep the air circulating? I bought mini fans for everybody, not the electric ones. We ain't got it like that. We're not rich, but we have the wave fans, like the handheld fans. I bought some cute, like origami looking ones. I bought about 25 of them to put throughout the tables. Trust me, I thought of everything I could to keep people cool. Remember, it's going to be hot, you guys. So I have a lot of ice on deck. I'm already, planning. I'm probably going to need about 10 to 15 bags of ice for our group. Our group is a good 100 plus, right? So it depends on how big your family is. If you're doing it big, if you're doing it small, if you're just resting, take some time to observe what we're really celebrating. The Great American State Fair is what's happening in Washington, D.C. Are you guys interested in that? But there will be a travel surge for the 4th of July holiday weekend. So if you are going to the airport, please be prepared, be patient, and expect there to be a travel rush, all right? A lot of people decided last minute. I know my cousin who was coming in town from Chicago, she just bought her ticket. I was like, y'all good, boy. Holiday travel is supposed to be, busiest cities, New York, of course, Seattle, Chicago, Washington, D.C., of course. With the World Cup happening, there are people switching cities for the football, for the soccer matches, right? So there are people now that the United States has made it through. They were playing last night in California, and their next opponent they'll face in Seattle. So we still have a lot of our visitors from overseas inside the United States. Once again, if you have not been on the algorithm for the World Cup, FIFA algorithm, if you're not seeing videos about all the wonderful visitors trying the American food, going to Costco, going to Walmart, and thinking it's the most amazing thing since sliced bread. We take a lot of this for granted, guys, and sometimes we don't even realize it's our culture. We have a big restaurant culture in the United States, right? Eating out a lot. Yeah, that's a part of our culture. So to see others experiencing it and enjoying it and commenting on how, not only our portion sizes, but really how tasty it is, how amazingly delicious. I'd be like, what do they have in Europe? What is going on, England? My British brothers, what is going on over there? How are you guys surviving if they eat Chick-fil-A and they look like they're about to pass out with joy? It's so funny to watch. But that has been something that has brought me a lot of joy this last a few weeks of the World Cup, just seeing people from all over the world come together, not only here in the United States, in Mexico also, which is a host country, as well as Canada, seeing people break bread together, complete strangers, enjoying the excitement of being at the World Cup or doing the watch parties. Did you guys go down to the watch sites in Miami? I have not been. They have set up Bayfront Park is the big one in Miami. And I saw it on TV yesterday, and there were a lot of people out there hanging out, watching a huge big screen. And once again, we are, we're happy by the outcome with the United States moving forward, but we're saddened by the red card that was issued to the United States striker, Mr. Balogun. I forget his first name. And he has an amazing story. I don't know if you heard about this. His mother was 7 months pregnant, and she came to New York to visit family, was supposed to head back to England. And that's his first name, Folarin, F-O-L-A-R-N, Folarin Balogun. I think they call him Flo or something like that for short. But he has scored in every match, starting out real strong. But unfortunately, he received the red card yesterday. Some people say it was controversial. Depends on how you look at it. Some of the soccer purists or football purists are like, no, he stepped on a man's heel. Even though it looked accidental, it looked like his body was in motion. It wasn't intentional from my viewpoint, especially as it was sped up. But if you watch it in slow motion, unfortunately, during the match yesterday, during the round of 32 against Bosnia-Herzegovina, Folarin Balogun was sent off in the only, according to, this is on The Athletic, otherwise dream night for the United States in the round of 32 against Bosnia-Herzegovina. The 24-year-old was shown a red card for a foul on Tarek, let me not get this last name wrong, forgive me, Muharavmovic. Tarek Muharamovic in the second half of Wednesday night's game in Santa Clara, California. He was visibly distressed as the referee, Rafael Klaus, made the decision to send him off in the red card with a red card. In his absence, the U.S. rallied against the adversity. Remember, once you get a red card, you're sent off. So your team is playing one man down. So it was 10 versus 11. And against all adversity, they did add to the 1-0 lead led by Balogun himself. And then, this handsome brother here, Malik Tillman. He has also a very interesting story. Shout out to all of the wonderful players of the United States, many of whom are children of immigrants. Let me just say it out loud, right? The team is so beautifully comprised of folks like Mr. Balogun, who was born in New York on vacation, basically, grew up in England, has played international football or soccer, and has chosen to play for his birth country, United States. Same thing with this gentleman who scored the second goal, Malik Tillman. I was like, that interesting last name, Tillman. I know there's Tillmans in Jamaica. There's Tillmans in United States as well. And his story is that his father was stationed in Germany, part of the United States military, impregnated, get into the details, Sue, impregnated his mom, a German woman, and his father kind of stepped out of his life, sadly, but he was raised mostly in Germany, speaks fluent German, and plays in the Bundesliga for, I forget the name of the German soccer team. I should know better. He plays for, is it Bayern, something like this? I don't know all of my European soccer leagues. Forgive me. I think it might be Bayern in Germany, but has also elected, even though he's a dual citizen of both Germany and the United States, father again being from the United States, has chosen to play for the red, white, and blue. Let's go. And he came through with an amazing free kick yesterday that I thought was, it was magical. I mean, when they say bend it like Beckham, bend it like Malik Tillman, let's go. It was beautiful to watch. And it has been exciting. The round of 32 has been so exciting. So I don't know what they're going to do for the round of 16 without their top striker. I think they're going to, it's a test all the time in sports. They say any given day, a team can be beaten. Any given day, it can be your night. One circumstance can change the whole trajectory of the game and the outcome. So we'll wait and see. I think the United States have a lot more in their arsenal, pun intended. My soccer fans will get it. Okay, fine. A lot more in their arsenal. They got a good team. We have a striker also. Actually, I think he plays midfield from here in South Florida. But the team is representative of the diversity of our country, the beauty of our country, the beauty of the immigrants who built this country. Remember that. Speaking of immigration, I want to switch gears. Let's put a pin on the World Cup for right now. I'm so excited by it. The soccer and the football has been wonderful to watch. I say soccer for the Americans and I say football for the Caribbean people. Don't worry. But the Florida law is taking effect, as you know. I put on my lawyer hat, but I really want to start with the Supreme Court and birthright citizenship. We had a very good discussion last week as per the Supreme Court's ruling on TPS, and we got into some of the details. But this week, the Supreme Court has also released very, very highly anticipated court rulings. Remember the Supreme Court being the highest court in the land. The final ruling that they issue is what goes across this beautiful country. So when we look at what the Supreme Court ruled, thank you. Can I clap, 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 clap? Can you hear the clap, 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 clap? I think they got this one right. Upholding more than 150 years of precedent, because again, we don't know sometimes where the Supreme Court goes, where the wind blows. All right. Well, many have agreed, and some may even still disagree. But the Supreme Court, according to the Associated Press, upheld birthright citizenship, rejecting Trump's restrictions. Now, if you remember, once President Trump initially came into office, he issued some executive orders trying to limit birthright citizenship, and it got taken all the way through the courts to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court on Tuesday upheld a broad conception of birthright citizenship, rejecting President Donald Trump's executive order declaring that children born to parents who are in the United States illegally or temporarily are not citizens. This goes to our permanent residents. These goes to people who are on specialized visas, right? Not diplomats. That's the only exception because it's written in the actual amendment. But whether you are, domiciled here came up, and I can get into some of the legal arguments that were made about this idea of being domiciled, saying that persons of temporary status are not domiciled here. But you're going to work here every day. Your kids are going to school every day, right? You're paying taxes every day. And you're trying to tell me, especially in the minority opinion, the people who disagreed on the Supreme Court talked about that concept of being domiciled. I think, again, this to me is reflective of what the law's intent was. So the decision, according to the Associated Press, is in line with the long-standing judicial interpretation of the 14th Amendment. It comes on the final day of the Supreme Court term that has centered on Trump's expansive claims on presidential power. And this has largely ruled in his favor. Trump called the ruling, quote unquote, too bad. Remember you say that as a kid, too bad, so sad. Listen, these are people's lives. Let's be serious about it. So continuing from the Associated Press, the other big ruling came with respect to transgender athletes, particularly women and girls, playing in women classified sports. Now listen to this. And its other ruling on Tuesday, according to the Associated Press, the court upheld laws in roughly half the states of the United States that prohibit transgender girls and women from playing on their public school or college sports teams. Listen again. So all of the transgender people, again, there's less than a percentage of 1% of them. There's not even that many. But the Supreme Court weighed in, and with regards to state laws prohibiting transgender women, these are folks who were born naturally. I don't know what the proper way to say it is, but were assigned, assigned male at birth, but transitioned to women. Those transgender people, according to the U.S. Supreme Court, now it has been ruled, ruling came out on Tuesday, upheld the laws in roughly half of the United States, according to the Associated Press, that prohibits transgender girls and women from playing on their public school. Wow. All of them, because you have the argument that pre-puberty, it should not affect the outcome of the sport, but they saying prohibits them from playing on their public school and college sports teams, and struck down limits on party spending in federal elections. This is another thing. The Supreme Court has upheld the right of people to give even more to their elected. Let's get into that ruling. I want to be clear on it. The spending limits. Actually, I have to take a hard break. So we want to discuss what happened this week at the Supreme Court. It's really going to impact us, guys, in our everyday lives. I want to tell you more about what changed in terms of Florida laws. New laws have gone into effect. So you're going to hear much more right here on the Suzette Speaks Show right after this. Stay tuned.
This is the all-new voice of the Caribbean. Better sounding radio.
Attention reggae lovers, the voice of the Caribbean and welcome to Jamrock Reggae Cruise are giving you the chance to win a balcony view cabin aboard the legendary cruise sailing November 11 to November 16. Enter from May 15 through July 31st by visiting website www.voiceofthecaribbean.com and fill out the entry form. Download the app and follow both at the Voice of the Caribbean at Welcome to Jamrock. One winner, one cabin, one unforgettable reggae experience. The Voice of the Caribbean, your voice, your station, your culture, your Caribbean.
South Florida, get ready. The Voice of the Caribbean 101.5 FM HD2 and 96.9 FM is opening up brand new advertising opportunities serving Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach. We're offering flexible flexible, affordable ad packages designed for local businesses ready to make big moves. Reach the Caribbean American community with music, news, and culture they trust. Call us at 954-999-0070 or 954-999-0134. And let's put your brand on the airwaves with the voice of the Caribbean.
You have car accident pain you deal with? What about the nagging injury from the nasty slip and fall? Call the number here, 866-GOLSEN. What me say? 866-465-3766. That's a Golson Spine Rehabilitation Center number. And them help patients figure it out for over 25 years. Not only for help you get out of the pain, them can also connect you with experienced attorneys who go fight for get your money for your injuries. 866-GOLSEN. What me say? 866-465-3766. So stop acting up yourself with back pain, headache, and not sleep over money cause of the accident. Just call 866-GOLSEN and let them help you today.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from It's in the Ad.
Judah Tours, Jamaica. From the moment you land in Jamaica until the day you leave, Judah delivers safe, reliable, and affordable transportation for visitors and returning residents alike.
Whether you need airport transfers, cruise ship pickups, hotel transportation, private charters, or exciting island tours, Judah's professional team is ready to get you there comfortably and on time.
Our Judah driver was waiting for us the minute we arrived.
Professional, friendly, safe, and affordable. We use Judah all week.
I've been using Judah for over 30 years every time I travel home from the States, and they've never let me down.
Visit the website, JudahKingstonChapter.com. Call via WhatsApp, 876-782-0563. Judah Tours Kingston, Jamaica. Over 50 years of safe, reliable service you can trust.
Damien Jr. Gong Marley, Stephen Marley, Burning Spear, Capleton, Sizzla, Beanie Man, Protege, Barrington Levy, and many more are set to perform on the 11th annual Jamrock Reggae Cruise, setting sail out of Miami, Florida, November 11th through the 16th, aboard the Norwegian Joy with port stops in Falmouth and Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Be a part of the most immersive reggae cruise with 5 days of music, culture, and pure vibe. Cabins are going fast. Secure yours now at welcometojamrockreggaecruise.com. That's welcometojamrockreggaecruise.com.
Gavin Friesen Shooter Dog presents Wealthy Jamaica.
Wealthy Jamaica, the Money Pull-Up Edition.
The Money Pull-Up Edition, Friday, August 7th. Starring the immortal champion sound out of Kingston, Jamaica, the World Sound, Stone Love. The Viral King, Futa Hype. Futa Hype.
This is a mad me. Futa Hype, the Viral King, you know it's a viral thing.
Suxi Fire, Fire Reds, SSMG, and Pressure. Hosted by Clans, Fitlin, and Buzzra.
Wealthy Jamaica.
Wealthy Jamaica, the Money Pull-Up Edition, Friday, August 7th, inside of First Impressions Ballroom, 5100 North State Road 7, Fort Lauderdale. Tickets available now on Eventbrite.com.
Wealthy Jamaica. Wealthy Jamaica, where the money, music, and vibes come together.
The voice of the Caribbean. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, and YouTube.
Welcome back. It's the Suzette Speak Show. Happy Thursday. We had a wonderful mix. The throwbacks were coming through. Big Up Humble Lion. Give us an R&B groove. Yes. I enjoyed it on my way into work. Happy Thursday. It is a wonderful July 4th. Not just any July 4th, y'all. This is the sesquicentennial of the United States of America. What does that mean? The 250th birthday. Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday, USA. Are you celebrating the land of the free, the home of the brave? Did you guys see this story? 2 people charged after a proposal at the top of the Empire State Building. 2 folks, I think they were saying that this is a part of an elaborate Netflix show and a proposal that was made. I'm talking about at the very tippy top of the Empire State Building yesterday. This was illegal, apparently. And the people have been charged, the man and the woman, in this radically different proposal at the top of the Empire State Building. Did you see this clip? It's been all over social media. Dressed in all black, their faces covered. She posted a picture of her ring from the very top, her ring finger, and showing the city in the background. Apparently, this is a daredevil act as a part of a documentary. Well, police said this is supposed to generate some sort of interest in an upcoming film, but they face charges. Shout out to you and your proposal. What in the world? This is also a thing. A report, paramedics called to Senator Mitch McConnell, breaking news or developing news, home for an unconscious person. Senator Mitch McConnell. This is being reported by CNN. This is hot off the presses. Anyway, we're getting into some Florida laws. Welcome, one and all. This is Suzette Speaks with Ness. Right, Suzette Speaks coming to you live every Thursday and Friday. I talk hot topics, news you can use, of course, what's trending, and I just see coming across the monitor here in the Voice of the Caribbean studios is that there is a report that paramedics have been called to Senator Mitch McConnell's home for an unconscious person. This is alleged. Again, this is a developing report. CNN is reporting it. He has been hospitalized in the past. The latest was on June 14th due to, emergency responders being called to his home. Mitch McConnell is 84 years old and has had a long history of medical conditions. He suffered from polio as a child. And in 2023, you remember he suffered numerous falls, including during a press conference being frozen. Do you remember on television? And even earlier this year, he's been hospitalized with flu-like symptoms. So we're seeing a developing report, according to CNN. Again, we're not sure if it's 100% corroborated. It is being alleged that emergency calls were made for quote-unquote cardiac arrest at former Senate leader Mitch McConnell's home. We're going to see if that news, can be a little bit more substantiated. This is developing. Again, according to a report from CNN, it is being alleged that an emergency call for, quote, cardiac arrest was made for former Senate leader Mitch McConnell. Wow. Yeah. Sorry, I hope he's in good health. I know he's been struggling for a while. And, so we hope to hear some more good, hopefully, reports after this very scary one. Also, thoughts and prayers are still with, and help, right? Hands on and boots on the ground are in Venezuela right now. We're still seeing a lot of different organizations across South Florida collect goods for our brothers and sisters to the south who experienced the most tragic dual earthquake that we have seen in a while in this hemisphere, with over 2,000 people having lost their lives, over 11,000 injured. And we had some good news, as I told you at the beginning of the show, at the top of the show. There was a person, and there seemed to be others after 8 days taken out of this rubble alive. So, of course, we are mourning the incomprehensible loss of life, but we also celebrate the small glimmers of hope. Imagine if that's your dad. Imagine if that's your loved one that they finally took out of the rubble alive after 8 days of this tragic unfolding of the dual earthquake that happened in Venezuela. But you can still give. Remember, those people are still in need and will be for a very long time. We've been talking about the United States now into the round of 16 after a 2-0 win over Bosnia-Herzegovina. I'm going to put a pin in that because I really want to get into some of the new laws that are going into effect in Florida. Did you know that most laws, although they are signed during the session by the governor of the state, they don't normally take effect, or normally they give them July 1st as the effective date, right? So we're seeing some new laws come into effect. I'm trying to think which ones are the most pertinent. So one of the ones I think you have to, and this is not a law, this is a bill that was passed. Remember when you're going to vote next, right? We're going to see primary voting in August, right? We will see on the ballot in the state of Florida a property tax ballot question. I'm going to have someone with expertise come on the show. Oh, I have to give you a heads up, guys. I'm going on vacation. I was telling my YouTube fam, listen, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. So after this week, you're not going to hear from me. I won't be here next week or the following week. Your girl going on a cruise. Hey. So if you miss me, I'll miss you too. Don't worry, I'll be back. But I forgot to mention, I'll be traveling. I'll give you some more details when I get back. They tell you, don't tell everybody your business. But hey, my people who are listening want to tell you it's summertime. We're trying to get out of here while we can. Some of the bills that I'm really happy about. Let's talk about new laws, not bills. New laws in Florida. SB 428. I love this. The age limit for free swimming lesson vouchers. We know it's summertime. We hear a lot about unfortunate tragedies as it relates to kids, particularly in our communities of color, not knowing how to swim. Well, they passed a new law. It goes into effect as of yesterday, July 1st. The age limit for free swimming lesson vouchers through the state program is rising from 4 to 7. So now kids up to 7 years old can get free vouchers from the state of Florida to learn how to swim. Love this. According to state officials, the goal of the current program is to, I don't know where that whistle came from. Oh my goodness. You know where that came from? I don't know. Is somebody playing soccer in the studio and I don't know what's going on? Interesting. I know we have World Cup fever, but we were trying to get it through some of the laws that have taken effect. I see what's happening here. Sorry, let me turn this down. Some of the laws that are taking effect. So in Florida, according to the Florida Coast News, right, more than 100 laws passed in the 2026 Florida legislative session go into effect in Florida starting July 1st, starting yesterday. Lawmakers came together to pass legislation spanning several areas of focus, including criminal statutes. Now, this is very interesting, what they're increasing criminal penalties for, including criminal statutes, child welfare, the emergence of data centers. They made laws with respect to data centers coming up. You know what the data centers are, right? The AI stuff, or the big old, what do they call, like large warehouses that it's going to take to process our computer data. Like things that we Google have to be housed somewhere, and these large warehouse centers that run the data, right? The information has to be processed somewhere. They require large amounts of land and water because the servers, like when you run a machine and the machine goes over and over and over again, computing gets hot and hot and hot. The way to prevent it from getting hot is running water over it. So a lot of communities have been saying they don't want the data centers next to them because they're going to utilize their water resources, right? These centers have some sort of environmental impact, right? So if you don't know what a data center is, you can start to look it up. But there's a Florida law now pertaining to data centers. We'll get into it in a second. So here goes some of the laws. This is according to the Florida Coast News. Data centers. Let's start with, since we're talking about that. So according to SB 484, that's the new law. Florida utility customers shouldn't have to bear any additional costs brought by new large-scale AI data centers under SB 484. What is going on with the whistle? I'm trying. Hi. The time is now 1:43. Thank you for joining the Suzette Speak. So I'm so somebody want to World Cup me today? Welcome. We're talking about sports. Of course, it's World Cup fever. We're talking about news, what's going on right now. We're all talking sports. But listen, World Cup fever is all over. Apparently, they don't want me to be great. But World Cup fever is all over the place. People are excited. The United States has made it into the round of 32. We are also trying to get to the bottom of the new Florida laws that are a part of what is happening across our great state. So I'll switch to, let's go to, we talk about data centers, that the public utilities shouldn't charge us for data centers, meaning if you pay a light bill, the cost of the data centers should not be involved in those as far as the Florida consumer. Let's switch to WUSF. This is out of Tampa. WUSF.org, a great NPR affiliate from Tampa, has reported of the 140 new Florida laws going into effect on July 1st. Here's some you'll want to know. All right, so let's see. Systems of no. Oh, I like this one too. Missy's Law. All right, so let's talk about HB 445. 445, Dangerous Crimes or Missy's Law. The law requires the courts to take a person into custody immediately if they plead guilty or no contest or are found guilty of dangerous crimes until sentencing. Listen to this, because a lot of times in the criminal justice system. Now, obviously, I'm an attorney, but I practice civil law, right? I do personal injury. This is like if you get hurt and somebody else is liable, that's when we seek redress, right? You sue them. You say, hey, you should have kept me safe. You didn't keep me safe. This is something that was your fault. How can you make me whole? That's what I do. And so mostly car accidents and things like this. I also help people with medical malpractice cases where people who are injured sometimes while under, medical care, or if they're having a medical procedure or something wasn't handled properly or with the right duty of care, things can go wrong. So if you have any cases where you're involved, or potential cases where you're involved, or someone you love is involved, I give free consultations. You can call me, right here at the station, ask for me, or, anywhere online. I'm the same, Suzette, 1Z, 2 T's, ends with an E, and speaks with an S, right? Suzette speaks all one word. You can DM me, right? And we can go over your case for free and let you know if there's any type of potential liability that we see. Anyway, so on the criminal justice side, what I find very disturbing, and again, as a lawyer, I am an observer. I'm pledged to uphold the laws not only of my state but of my country. When I see that there's a lot of people who are convicted of some very heinous crimes or even accused of, and they're granted, some are granted, even with the case right now with the young lady whose body was in the suitcase after her graduation cruise. Remember this? I have to pull it up. The young lady who went on a cruise with her family, and now her stepbrother is accused, facing a federal district judge here in Miami because it happened on the high seas, and because it wasn't on Florida, land mass, it now falls into the jurisdiction of the feds, the federal courts. And the fact that he was not held in custody, I think they may have. Let me go back and see if he's currently in custody. But as of a few weeks ago, this law, Missy's Law, let's get back to it. Missy's Law now says that if a person in a potential case pleads guilty, if they plead guilty or no contest or are found guilty of a dangerous crime, they will be held in custody until sentencing. Any violation related to computer, meaning the I don't want to use child exploitation type computer related crimes, let's say, is included in this list of dangerous crimes. So if they plead guilty or are found guilty, they're not going to be allowed to walk around. They will be in custody. I think that's very important. This is interesting. Legal tender, HB 999. Certain gold and silver coins can be used as legal tender for payment of debts. Government entities can accept these coins as payment for taxes, charges, and dues. So if you don't have the monte, the munyan, as the young kids say, you can now use your gold bars or your silver bars or something that grandma left you, gold and silver, coins, they say, can be used as legal tender for payment of debt. Interesting. Very interesting. We also see athletics. I love this law as well. Athletics in the public school, K through 12. The legislation allows for high school coaches to use their personal money to support players up to $15,000 a year per athletic team. It can be used for food, transportation, and recovery services, but not to recruit athletes. This is like the Teddy Bridgewater. Remember Coach Teddy Bridgewater, Miami's own Miami stand-up? He was helping athletes and then was publicly embarrassed and reprimanded for it, for helping buy food for athletes whose parents or parent can't afford after-school food. They practice for however many hours out there, at the different schools, Miami Northwest or Miami Norland. These kids come from very tough circumstances. And because he, as a coach, was buying them food and clothes or things that they needed, essentials to live, he was, before this law, breaking, at the time, I think it's the Florida High School Students Association, FHSAA, I think it is, their laws. It was terrible. When the man was just trying to help his team. Thank you, Stephanie Online. She's like, I remember that. Yeah. Well, there is now a law that protects coaches from this. And I think that's an amazing law. Some of these I can rock with. Some of this I can rock with. I agree with that. Again, the opinions expressed during the Suzette Speaks show are that of me, the host, any guests, any callers. and are not those of the ownership or management of this station. Let me get out the data centers we discussed. The bill ensures that local governments maintain authority over planning and land development regulation for large-scale, hyperscale data centers. In addition, those large load customers, those are people they're going to use all electricity to work AI, cannot be considered electric substations. Interesting. So it can't be billed to us. Thank you, Lord. It ensures residential and small business taxpayers will not pay higher costs of utilities due to the data centers. I agree with that. They got to foot their own bill. And then we got to also talk about the environmental stuff. When are y'all gonna address that? Thank you, Florida legislature. Oh, I like this one. A number of laws create research initiatives for diseases like Alzheimer's, praise God, diabetes, and sickle cell. Yeah, they have researchers now. Or money, research funds. Let's go. Another creates a database and registry for people living with Parkinson's. Interesting. Database and registry. I think that could be used for good, and that could also be used, unfortunately, for evil. Let me think about that. Database and registry of people living with Parkinson's. I hope it's for research, and I hope those people's privacy. Who would get access to that database? I'd have to look into that law. But I'm with the research initiatives for diseases like Alzheimer's, diabetes, and sickle cell. I'm down for that. I love this one. Project Leo, also HB 1405. We're talking about new laws that are going into effect or just went into effect July 1st in the state of Florida. 140 new laws was passed during this session. That's a lawmaking time every spring where the state senators, 40 of them, and the state House of Representatives, these are people that represent us in Tallahassee, 120 of those, come together and pass bills that hopefully improve, we hope, the lives of Floridians. And they make it into law if they're assigned by the governor, right? That's our process here in the United States. Well, this new law, Project Leo, is reinstated within this law. The program was repealed, in 2019. It is the first come, first serve program aimed at finding missing people with special needs like autism and related disabilities. So they took it off the books and now they put it back on the books. Interesting. Project Leo. I'm with the finding missing people. Did you see, speaking of that, another viral story outside of the viral football fans that are enjoying the United States' culture vis-a-vis barbecue, vis-a-vis Walmart and Cowboy shopping? Did you see my new favorite player, Erling Haaland? Of course, I'm cheering for Team USA, but the Norwegian with all that swag, Erling Haaland, he's a top striker for Norway, cute as a button. He has also been, while they're playing games in, I think, Dallas, out shopping for things like cowboy hats. You know what is so important? And you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to do it on my YouTube. One of the weirdest and most interesting places that people have taken our international visitors who are here from all over the world for the World Cup, many have taken them to, we don't have them in Florida though, Buc-ee's, which is a gas station on steroids in Texas and other places. Do they have Buc-ee's in Georgia? Y'all, folks watching me on YouTube, wherever you are, tell me if they have Buc-ee's where you are. But apparently, they serve everything from brisket and amazing breakfast sandwiches to gas, right? So our visitors can't get over how much you can buy at a gas station and how good the food is. The Walmart videos, of course, have been amazing. And the Costco, they can't get over. Of course, they think Golden Corral, our visitors from across the pond think Golden Corral is a 5-star restaurant. They're so funny. They're like, oh my gosh, this Golden Corral, it's amazing. Oh, you can get refills on your soda and all of this. They love Chick-fil-A. I don't know, but I'm just thinking about all the places that we would take them, in Florida for first time, food. But the place I'm more excited about is the videos of them going to Bass Pro Shops. Now, what I was going to say is I've never been inside of a Bass Pro Shop. Do you guys know what it is? It's a shopping establishment for like outdoorsmen. And I seen them always on the highway on the 95, the Bass Pro Shops. And wow. Yeah, I've never seen them. Oh, well, University of Louisville out here paying for transportation and food. Okay, I see you online. Thank you. Yes, I saw that. Thank you, Stephanie. Danny Glover, one of our incomparable elders, our actors. Danny Glover has now revealed he has an Alzheimer's diagnosis. Thank you. Yes, that made news just this morning. Yes, I see you online. Thank you. Damon says they are amazed by our portion sizes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, but I think I'm going to take a field trip. I'm like, I live in America and I've never been on the inside of a Bass Pro Shop. It looks pretty cool based on the videos. The hunting paraphernalia. Apparently they have museum status for these places. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Bass Pro Shops? I've never been inside one. The fishing gear, the weapons and ammunition. Our foreign guests are simply just amazed by them. Lisa B in the building says she's been inside a Bass Pro Shop. Listen, I don't feel like I'm American enough.
I've been to. My husband is an avid fisherman.
Yes,
avid fisherman.
So he's inside.
Yes. So. Anytime we are near a Bass Pro, we go, and it's like an excursion.
Where have I been?
Yeah, and I've been to a few that are outside of this area.
Really?
Each one is unique, and they all have some very interesting.
Do they have aquariums? They show aquariums.
Well, the last one I went to had like a pirate ship inside.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, your girl is going to get a little outdoorsy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to venture. Lisa B say it's approved. Stamp of approval from Miss Lisa B.
They do have a ladies department. So,
do they?
Yeah. So you can find some nice pink fishing gear.
I'm so excited. I've never been inside of a Bass Pro Shop.
I actually did find some jewelry as
well.
Oh,
is it?
So, yeah.
I saw one
Trust
British
me,
gentleman.
I find my little joy when I go there. But
you go for the hubby, but then you find out what you need. Listen, I saw one gentleman back in England with like 8 Bass Pro Shop hats, orange, blue, red, this and that. I was like,
it's a thing.
Where have I been? I feel like I'm not Floridian enough. I don't know, guys. I'm going to join the other side. I'm going to go in. I might buy a fishing pole. I don't know what else, but I'm going to enjoy myself. Miss Lisa B has said it here. She's gone and you survived. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Lisa B in the building giving me some tips. But yeah, so we're going to continue the discussion tomorrow. The Supreme Court made some very, very interesting decisions. Again, we do just want to leave you. I do have to talk about Danny Glover. I'll talk about him more. Actor Danny Glover reveals that he has an Alzheimer's disease diagnosis. This hits home, guys, because I have definitely family members who are affected by Alzheimer's as well. So the fact that he's brave enough to come out, this living legend, this movie star, talking about this aggressive Alzheimer's diagnosis and a disorder that affects a lot of us, especially across our communities of color, and beyond. Right, and then to think that he has this, addressed this now, and then he's doing some interviews with CNN, I can see. But beyond that, guys, I want to get more into the laws impacting us. What are some other ones about heinous crimes? I don't see it real quick. Of course, when you have your your notes on your laptop, you want to get to the ones that you want as quick as possible. And of course, I'm going to get commercial airport services, Palm Beach. Oh yeah, they changed the name. They passed a law that the Palm Beach International Airport will be named the President Donald Trump International Airport. Oh my goodness. I think they changed some piece of highway too to the Charlie Kirk Highway, according to the new laws passed. We'll get more into it, guys. We're almost out of time. We're going to go back to the Supreme Court tomorrow. Not back to it, but, talking about what they decided. They have upheld, the number one thing, they have upheld birthright citizenship, as it has been stated in the 14th Amendment. My question now is, Congress had sat on its hands for so many things, including, for example, Roe v. Wade. And, we don't have to pass a law because it's Roe v. Wade. But look, it got overturned 50-some years later. Will they do anything to shore up birthright citizenship? We'll see. We'll see. Right now, it's been upheld by the Supreme Court. Listen, this is the Suzette Speak Show. I come to you live with the top news stories, hot topics, news you can use each and every Thursday and Friday. We just, kick it, shoot the breeze here. We talk about what's happening in Florida and beyond, in the Caribbean Basin and beyond. We want to make sure you stay informed, and again, are not too inundated, but we want to make sure you are well informed about what's happening across this world. So that's what we try to do here. Also, we do community service where we tell you about more events. Tomorrow I'll do some of that. What are you going to be doing for the sesquicentennial? It's the 250th birthday of America. We're going to have an amazing weekend here in South Florida and beyond. So again, thank you for listening. I got to go. Lisa B's up next.
The all-new voice of the Caribbean. Better sounding radio.
W245BC, Lauderdale Lakes, 96.9 FM, the all-new voice of the Caribbean.
WLYF, 101.5 FM, HD2 Miami. Simulcasting on 96.9 FM. the voice of the Caribbean.
WLYF HD2 Miami, 101.5 HD2.
Attention reggae lovers, the